Hi everyone, Petrik here. We're almost at the end of the month of June, and that means we're almost halfway through the year. And I know that's crazy. I think time always flies, especially when we're reading and creating content and also reviewing books. But for today's video, I'll be talking about all the books that I got last month in the month of May. And yeah, not about the books that I got in the month of June, but about the books that I got last month in the month of May. And I think today we have about 20 books to spotlight. So let's get started immediately. Like usual, I will start by talking about the books that I bought first. I bought 5 gigantic books. Let's go through them. The first one is Vinland Saga, the Deluxe Edition, Volume 4. And then we have Volume 5, again, the Deluxe Edition of Vinland Saga by Makoto Yukimura. And finally, Volume 6. So that's about 18 volumes of Vinland Saga compressed into 3 gigantic omnibus edition. I do believe that this is the best version to actually read Vinland Saga because you can see Makoto Yukimura's artwork in full glory. And I really love Vinland Saga. I don't know if it ends already, but it's about to end really soon, the manga series. And I think that means in total there will be about 10 volumes of this deluxe, 10 or 11 volumes of this deluxe hardcover edition. And you bet I will collect them all. And then after that, here are the other books that I got. Still on the topic of omnibus, this is for the omnibus illustrated limited edition of the Nightmareland Chronicles by Daniel Barnett. So yeah, I managed to find this one secondhand, and at the price that is quite surprisingly not too expensive. I think it's quite similar to the original selling price. And this is, as you can see, the cover art actually connects. And this one contained the first volumes of Nightmareland Chronicles. And this is for book 5 and book 6. And also, if you see the spine, they actually connect as well. And this one is limited to only 42 copies. So this is super limited edition. And I haven't actually read the books yet, but I heard so many great things about this one from Andrew Wizardy Reads, and also Leslie. I plan to read this series hopefully this October during horror reading month, and fingers crossed I will end up loving this. So those 5 books are the only books that I bought that arrived in the month of May. Now let's talk about review copies that were sent to me. Before I talk about special editions, I want to spotlight the traditionally published books that I got first. And let's start from the books that I got from Orbit Books. The first one is again another copy of A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ainde. This is a great debut novel. I pitched this one as Final Fantasy X meets Shaman King. Shaman King is a manga series, and if you have played or read these 2 series, I think you will have a lot to enjoy about A Song of Legends Lost. And also, it is very rare now in comparison to read a new debut novel that is not a romantasy, that is not part of the romantasy subgenre. This one doesn't have any romance in it, and I think it is a great book. I have posted a full spoiler-free review of this book on my Goodreads and also on my YouTube channel, and I'm really looking forward to reading the sequel. And then speaking of romantasy, I got this book from Rachel Gillick, The Knight and the Moth. Now, I haven't read anything by Rachel Gillick yet. I know that she's one of the most popular and also highly praised romantasy authors right now, especially for her One Dark Window books or series, that duology, and this is a duology as well. And I won't lie, after reading the premise, this one actually sounds quite incredible. But at the same time, I've seen some reviews, even though the premise sounds very epic fantasy, but the book itself definitely is romantasy. It contains a lot of romance as the core theme of the novel, but the average rating for this one is staggeringly high. So if you are a fan of romantasy, do not miss out on this one. And then I got these 4 books from T. Kingfisher. Ta-da! This is for, I will show you, Paladin's Grace, and then we have Paladin's Strength, Paladin's Hope, and finally, Paladin's Fate. So yeah, these 4 books, I believe they are all standalone novels. Yeah, standalone titles taking place in the same world. I really like this new cover art by Anna Moshak, and yeah, they look beautiful. It feels like seeing classic fantasy again. And I think this one, romance do play a part. I'm not sure whether this counts as romantasy or not, but as I always say, I haven't read anything by T. Kingfisher yet, except for her Digger Unearthed graphic novel, which I'm still reading to this day. It is a great graphic novel, but I'm still not sure what I totally feel about the graphic novel yet. But yeah, anyway, if you have read this series, Do let me know what you think about it. And finally, for the last book that I got from Orbit Books, this is for The Sword Triumphant by Gareth Hanrahan. This is the third and the final book in, I think, Lands of the Firstborn. Yeah, that's the name of the series. Wow, I still remember. And I haven't read this series yet. I have read his first series, his first epic fantasy series that begins with the God of Prayer and also the Shadow Saint. And I forgot the name of the third book right now, but I really loved that series, the God of Prayer series. But, oh, the Black Iron Legacy. Yeah, that's the name of the series. And I think that one, I don't know whether it has been discontinued or not. I believe it should be 5 books long, but I still haven't heard any news about the fourth and the fifth novel. But anyway, this one, Lands of the Firstborn, finally, the trilogy is completed. I think this one is meant to subvert the tropes surrounding epic fantasy and also quest-based epic fantasy tropes such as the Lord of the Rings. And I know there is a talking sword in the series, probably reminiscent of Nightblood from The Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, and I'm definitely all in for that. So yeah, it's only a matter of time before I start reading The Lands of the Firstborn again. I'm a big fan of the God of Prayer, and I hope this one will be as good or maybe even superior. And those are pretty much all the books that I got from Orbit Books. I got 2 super exciting books from Saga Press. So let's talk about the first one. It is All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu. I will post a full review of this one. I'm not sure whether it's on my YouTube channel or maybe on my Goodreads really soon. But anyway, this is the newest book by Ken Liu. It is slated to be released at the end of this year, I think October or November. But I really enjoyed this one. I wouldn't, something to expect though. Do not expect something on the level of the Dandelion Dynasty. This is not that kind of book. This is a near future sci-fi thriller about hacker and the danger of artificial intelligence in our life and our reliance on artificial intelligence. So yeah, or such as AI art, which I absolutely dislike, and also pretty much the reliance on technology. This is a huge topic being discussed in All That We See or Seem. And yeah, I think I'm going to give this one either a 3.5 or maybe a 4 out of 5 stars. I still cannot decide my rating on this book. But on top of this, I got one of my most anticipated novel of the year and probably ever since I read the book. It is, of course, The Strength of the Few by James Islington. And yeah, I've been really patient to not jump into this one immediately because I remember back when I actually reviewed The Devil 8 months early, I got so many hate comments on that. So this time I decided to wait a little bit, but I don't think I can wait any longer. So this will be read in the month of July. That's about 5 months before the publication of The Strength of the Few, the official publication of The Strength of the Few. But The Will of the Many is one of my top favorite books of all time. I consider that a masterpiece in the genre. And after the mind-blowing plot twists and revelations from the end of The Will of the Many, I'm really intrigued to find out how James Islington will evolve the story further. Based on my experience with the Lycaonius trilogy, I have no doubt I will fail to predict everything that's going to happen in The Strength of the Few. And then finally, the last review copy that I got from traditional publisher last month, it is actually from Tor Books, and it is for The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, the standard hardcover edition. But even though this is standard hardcover, something to know, this actually contains interior illustrations and also illustrated end papers. Look at this. Ta-da! This is so beautiful. I'm not a big fan of the deckled edges. I have never been a fan of deckled edges in the first place, so yeah, that's just my opinion. And then this is the back and paper. And yeah, inside we have illustrated map and also interior artwork of the same Byzantine artwork style by Joel Daniel Phillips. And yeah, I really like The Devils. There has been news about James Cameron adapting The Devils, and I think that sounds super exciting. I'm not sure whether that will happen though. But now let's talk about the special edition books that I got. Because I just talked about The Devils, well, of course I have to showcase this book. This is The Devil's Broken Binding Edition. I got to work on designing this together with John Anthony Di Giovanni and also with on the typography with Jeff Brown. And yeah, I think this turns out absolutely stunning. No bias involved here. I just love this kind of cover art. And apparently, a lot of news outlet, when the news came out about The Devils, they used this cover art instead on their website, including pretty much everything really. And that really makes me happy and proud. John Anthony Di Giovanni is super happy with it as well. I remember when the news regarding Adapting the Devils came out, and then the James Cameron company uses this cover instead. Broken Binding, the owner of the Broken Binding, Matt, instantly called me and said, you know what? They actually used the cover you designed on their website, and that's quite mind-blowing. But yeah, I'm really thrilled with the reception on this edition. Everyone has been so kind and happy with it, and that makes me happy. That's all I ever wanted to do with designing these books. And this is The Edges by Jeff Brown. This one features a different end paper. The front is by Jeff, and also the back is by Peng Lu. And yeah, I really love this edition, and thank you so much for all the kind words regarding this edition. And then for the next one, this is again something I got to work on as well. This is for Raymond E. Weiss Magician, and this one is in collaboration with the author himself. None of the artwork here are being done without the approval of the authors. And yeah, he really loved how everything came out for the Rift War saga series. And for this, the cover art is by Jeff, and the end paper is done by Christopher Chent on the front end paper, which I think looks absolutely beautiful. And on the back end paper, we have for the first time is Tada by Mansik Young. I think it looks amazing, right? And then we have interior artwork by Alan Morris here as well. And of course, the board art by Martin Motet, which I think is some of the best board art that we have ever produced for the Broken Binding, I think. Look at that. This is incredible. Some might even argue that this should have been the cover art, and I cannot blame them when I saw those comments because it looks amazing. And I think though, my favorite of this set is A Darkness at Setanon. I cannot wait to see that in person. And then what else do we got? We have this one, The Book That Held Her Heart by Mark Lawrence. This is the third and the final book in the Library Trilogy. Now that it is completed, I can finally start reading the Library Trilogy as well. And then it is shiny. The cover art is done by Tom Roberts. And I don't know anything about this one. I tried reading the first book a long time ago, back when it first came out, and I enjoy it. I really like Mark Lawrence writing in the book That Wouldn't Burn. But at the same time, based on my experience with reading Mark Lawrence books, I know that it's better for me to wait until the trilogy is completed first, even though I know he always leaves a summary of what happened in the previous book. But I find myself having better experience when I read his books closer to each other, such as Book of the Ancestor, Broken Empire, and also Red Queen's War. And then another conclusion with another illustration by Tom Roberts. This is for Fatebreaker by Hannah Kanner. The first book is called The God Killer. And yeah, I haven't read anything by Hannah Kanner yet, but this one turns out really pretty as well. This is a different alternative color to the standard cover art that is being traditionally published. But this comes with this illustrated and papers. I think this one is unique to special editions, not only Broken Binding, but Illumicrate and other edition as well. The standard hardback edition, I believe, features a black and white artwork. If you have read this book, this series, do let me know what you think about it. Did you enjoy it or not? And finally, the last two special editions I got from the Broken Binding, it's for an indie series, The Drowned Kingdom Saga by P.L. Stewart. So yeah, this is A Drowned Kingdom, the first book, with the cover art by Ashper. And this is the back cover. And let me show you the inside as well. It looks like this. So yeah, for this one, it doesn't have any interior artwork, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually done in stone binding, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's really nice. I also got the second book, The Last of the Atalantians. I got to work on this one together with P.L. Stewart and Ashper, and also Body Dog Design. And I think many are happy with the result of the cover art. And of course, I haven't actually read the series yet, so that's why I collaborated a lot with the author when it comes to design, to the upgraded design for this series. And that's all the special editions that I got from the Broken Binding. I still have 2 more special editions to spotlight, but these are for indie books. So let's begin with the next one. The first one I want to show here, this is for The Other Way by Derek Smythe, with the cover art by Madeline Ocean. And wow, look at that, so nice, gold on black. And yeah, this is The Other Way, the second book in the Passage to Dawn. And this is the back cover. And it contains a lot of interior artwork here. This one is being produced and sent by Merrick Books. This is the front map. And let me show you one of my favorite interior artwork inside this book. This is actually by Sutiwate Chakampu, but I'm going to show my favorite now. This is the most beautiful illustration inside. And this one is being done by Joshua Kairos, who has actually worked on a lot of Magic the Gathering cards and also A Song of Ice and Fire illustrations. And this is such a beautiful artwork in my opinion. I haven't read the book yet, but when I saw this artwork, it immediately makes me want to read it. And I think this is overall a beautiful edition. I think Derek Smythe is doing a great job with producing his books together with Magic Books. Some of Magic Books' better production, in my opinion. And then, speaking of Magic Books, this is the last special edition I want to spotlight today. This is for the Fall of Wizardom's Deluxe Collector's Edition. And then this is the slipcase for, these two books by Jeffrey Kohanek. And I think this contains all 6 volumes of the series of the Fall of Wizardoms. So this one contained the first 3 books. And yeah, this is the front cover by Rachel St. Clair. And this is the back cover. And we have the second volume. Front cover with a purple color now. And also spine and back cover. And yeah, this one, I don't think this one features as many new illustrations as Derek Smythe books. But yeah, I'm still thankful that Magic Books decided to send me a copy of this series. And yeah, now let's talk about a few review copies that I got from indie authors. I think there are 3 review copies I want to spotlight today. The first one is for Return to Aramon by Ezra Ferguson. This features a cover art by Jeff Brown. And yeah, I think this one is actually about vampire, but I could be wrong about that. I did the cover reveal for this online and people were really happy with the result of the cover reveal. And the same can be mentioned for the next book I want to spotlight as well. But again, I want to say thank you so much to Ezra Ferguson for sending me the first book in a New Moon series. Hopefully this one will be successful. And speaking of successful, this one, the next one, is really starting to garner a lot of success right now. I think most importantly due to actually the cover change. And this is for a new edition of The Price of Power by Michael Michel. I really need to ask Michael how to pronounce his name, so sorry Mike. But yeah, this features a new cover art by Christopher Chen, an artist I have worked with plenty of times on the Broken Binding books. And yeah, this turns out absolutely gorgeous. I remember Michael asked me, do you know any artist that could do well with knights and also white background? Instantly in my mind, I said Christopher Chen. There is no other option. It will have to be him. And I'm really glad he followed my advice. I also recommended Rachel St. Clair to do the design of the books. And the results so far, they are amazing. All 3 books for the new cover art of Dreams of Dust and Steel are beautiful. And I have read this book. I haven't read the second book yet, A Graveyard for Heroes. And of course, I haven't read the third book, The Banners of Red. But I look forward to doing that, especially because many people and also many fans of the series actually said that pretty much unanimously that the second book is superior. So yeah, that's exciting. I gave this one, I think, a 7 out of 10 as far as rating goes. So yeah, it is enjoyable, but it's definitely written to be a setup book in my opinion. The second book, I think, will be where the story starts to progress further and the character developments as well. I look forward to reading that as soon as possible. And finally, the last book that I got, it is for Blood of the Kami by Baptiste Pinson Wu. So for this one, I actually got this book in person when I went to Japan last month. Yeah, I got to meet Baptiste Pinson Wu, and then he gave me a copy of Blood of the Kami, which is Blood of the Gods. And this is the back cover. We talk about artwork, about art direction, about reviewing books, and also about the fantasy community in general. It was really fun. Japan is one of my favorite places to visit, and as you can probably tell, this is a Japan or an anime-inspired fantasy novel, and you bet I will be reading this as soon as possible. And again, I want to say thank you so much to the author for meeting me and also for giving me a copy of this book in person. So yeah, those are all the books that I got in the month of May. That's quite a lot of books, and I tried to get through them quickly to not take too much of your time. But again, do let me know which of these books that you find to be the most interesting and how many books you got last month in the month of May. Again, it always makes me happy to see people buying and getting books. And yeah, As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.